You can't travel abroad without a passport, but do you know how strong yours is? Your passport could be limiting your freedom without you even knowing it, because your country's reputation, government, and even its economy all determine the places that you can travel and how long you can stay there. I'm Kristin, an international relocation consultant, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 strongest passports in the world according to the Henley Passport Index. We'll dive into some of the places that you can travel with these passports and what to do if yours isn't on the list. Stay tuned to the end to see if your passport made the cut. Starting off the top 10 is a four-way tie between Iceland, Latvia, Slovakia, and Slovenia. Iceland often ranks among the top 10 strongest passports in the world, but the other countries have been steadily gaining ground since this index started in 2006. Citizens of these four countries can access 184 countries visa-free. These countries also make up part of Europe's Schengen area, giving citizens the right to freedom of movement throughout the 29 Schengen countries. If you're from one of these four European countries, you can enter Canada for 180 days, the United States for 90, and 90 days in South American countries like Peru. Now, although all of these countries are tied, that doesn't mean that citizens of each country can get visa-free access to the same places. So if you're traveling to somewhere like Africa, there's going to be a lot of differences in which countries you can go to without a visa and which ones you can't. For instance, if you have an Icelandic passport, you can visit South Africa visa-free for 90 days, but not if you're from Latvia, Slovakia, or Slovenia. Fortunately, the Caribbean is a bit more open if you have a beach vacation in mind. Citizens of Latvia, Slovakia, and Slovenia can visit Antigua and Barbuda for up to 90 days with just a passport. Ranking number 9 with access to 185 countries is a three-way tie between Lithuania, Estonia, and the United Arab Emirates. All three of these countries have made significant gains in their passport's strength over recent years, especially the UAE, which has been climbing from 62nd place on this list. Estonia ranks 9th for the second year in a row, while Lithuania climbed up a spot from 10th place last year. Citizens of these countries can access 185 other countries with their passports, but they do get different access to countries in Africa, the Middle East, the United States, and former British colonies. Part of the Emirati passport strength is that it's easy for citizens to get into countries that can be really hard to get into, especially for citizens of the United States, places like Russia, China, Cuba, and Azerbaijan. On the other hand, if you're a citizen of the UAE and you want to visit Belize or the Cayman Islands, you'll need to apply for a visa first. Lithuanians and Estonians can get visa-free access for up to 90 days to the United States, Puerto Rico, and the US Virgin Islands, while UAE citizens would need to apply for a visa first. Another place you'll need a visa to visit if you're on a Lithuanian, Estonian, or Emirati passport is Australia. Coming in at number 8 is a country whose citizens spent the most on travel in 2023, a whopping $150 billion. You guessed it, the US passport ranks 8th on this list with visa-free access to 186 countries. But while all the countries we've talked about so far have been getting stronger passports in recent years, the US passport is actually on the decline. The US passport strength has been falling since 2014, but it's not all bad though. Canada, Mexico, and Costa Rica all allow Americans to stay up for 180 days on a passport, which is quite a lot of time to explore mountains, jungles, beaches, and ruins. If you're looking for an extended stay, the countries of Georgia and Albania allow US citizens to stay for a full year. Plenty of time to dive into Georgia's fascinating history, culture, and folklore, or to enjoy the beaches on Albania's Adriatic coast. Americans can also stay for a full year in the West Pacific island nation of Palau. If you love visiting Europe, well, US citizens can stay in the European Schengen zone for up to 90 days per 180 days. And that way you can explore a lot of different cities and countries without having to worry about repeated border crossings. Just keep in mind that as of 2025, US citizens will need to comply with the European Travel Authorization requirements, also known as the ETIAS. 4 countries are tied for the 7th place on this list: Canada, Czechia, Hungary, and Malta, which can access 187 countries visa-free. As with the United States, Canada's passport has also been on the decline in recent years, although it is up 1 spot from last year. Czechia and Malta have kept the 7th place spot for a few years in a row, and Hungary has been steadily climbing the index since 2006. Being European, citizens of Malta, Hungary, and the Czech Republic can travel or live in Europe's Schengen area, plus in Switzerland and Iceland, whereas Canadians, like Americans, can enjoy 90 days collectively in the Schengen zone per 6 months. If you're interested in South Africa, Canadians can stay visa-free for 30 days in Lesotho, while Maltese passport holders can visit Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, for 90 days. Meanwhile, all 4 of these countries' citizens will need visas to visit Egypt for up to 30 days. And all the way over in Asia, Hungarian citizens get visa-free access to visit China for 15 days. 2 European countries are tied for the 6th spot: Greece and Poland. Over 10 million Greeks and 36 million Poles can access 188 countries visa-free. Because these countries are both in the Schengen zone and the EU, they enjoy borderless travel there, and they also get the standard 90 days for many countries in the Americas, plus a 6-month stay in the UK. So where do these 2 passports differ from the rest of the countries on this list? If you're a Greek passport holder visiting South America, you can travel through countries such as Guyana for 90 days, a perfect place if you're a wildlife enthusiast filled with dense rainforests and a lot of biodiversity. If you're a Polish citizen, your passport can be your ticket to exploring the Great Wall of China. There, you can enjoy a 15-day visit to experience the rural countryside or bustling metropolises of Beijing, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. Citizens of both Greece and Poland can explore all that South Africa has to offer, including the beach, Sahara safaris, and lagoons for up to 90 days. Over in the Caribbean, Polish and Greek passport holders get a full 180 days in Antigua and Barbuda. Next up, Portugal and Austria rank 5th for the year with access to 189 countries visa-free. Australia has a historically strong passport, always ranking in the top 10 due to its strong economy and positive international reputation, whereas Portugal, an EU member since the 1980s, has been near the top 5 since 2015. The main difference between these 2 countries and where citizens can travel is Europe, because Portuguese citizens can live and work throughout Europe, whereas Australian citizens can only stay there for 90 days without some other type of visa or permit. Australians can stay for 6 months in Canada, however, 90 days in the United States, and in most of South America for 90 days visa-free. Portuguese citizens can visit the African island of São Tomé and Príncipe for 30 days, which is nice since Portuguese is still spoken there. Portugal and Australia also offer each other's citizens a reciprocal 90-day stay for tourism. 6 countries are tied for the 4th spot. Citizens of Belgium, Denmark, New Zealand, Norway, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom can each access 190 countries. These countries have such powerful passports because they're peaceful and stable countries, and these are 2 of the biggest factors in determining how strong your passport is. Belgium has historically had a strong ranking, always in the top 7 on the Henley Index, while New Zealand has maintained a top 8 spot since 2006. Norway and Switzerland have been improving their ranking up from 7th place last year, and Denmark's passport, once the world's strongest, is usually in the top 4 or 5 places. Since Brexit, citizens of the UK can no longer live and work in mainland Europe without additional permits, but with their passports, they can still visit the Schengen area for up to 90 days, visa-free. UK passport holders can also enjoy an extended stay in New Zealand or Jamaica for up to 6 months. And if you're from New Zealand, Norway, Switzerland, or the UK, you can stay for 6 months on the Caribbean island of Barbados, whereas Danes and Belgians only get 3 months. Switzerland isn't an EU country, but it is part of the European Free Trade Association. So Swiss citizens have similar freedom of movement rights compared to those from the Schengen area. When it comes to visiting the UAE, passport holders from these countries can stay there between 30 and 90 days visa-free, depending on which country you're from. And as I mentioned earlier, citizens of New Zealand can stay in Australia visa-free to live, work, study, or simply explore the outback. Tying for third place are 7 countries that can each access 191 places without a visa: Austria, Finland, Ireland, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, South Korea, and Sweden. Austria and Sweden are up from 5th place last year, and Finland has improved from 4th. Ireland, up from 6th place, is a historically strong passport that's always been in the top 7. All of these third place countries have low crime rates, strong diplomatic ties, and strong economies, and that's one of the factors that keeps these passports getting stronger and stronger every year. Citizens of these countries can also visit New Zealand for up to 3 months and the UK for 6 months. But these passports do differ a little bit, especially when it comes to travel to Asia. So Singapore, for instance, South Koreans can stay there for up to 90 days, while citizens of the rest of these countries can only stay for 30. And if you're interested in visiting China, well, Scandinavian countries like Sweden and Finland need to apply for a visa to go there, while Austrian, Irish, Dutch, and Luxembourg citizens can visit 15 days visa-free. In the Caribbean, South Koreans need a visa to lay on the luxurious sands of the Cayman Islands, but the rest of these passport holders can visit visa-free to islands such as St. Lucia. If you're wondering which countries you can visit with your passport and for how long, then you can check websites such as your government's State Department website or Department of Foreign Affairs. There are also worldwide websites such as visahq.com where you can look up your country and your destination country. 5 countries rank in the number 2 spot: Spain, Japan, France, Germany, and Italy. What's interesting about these 5 countries is that not only do they have some of the strongest passports in the world, but they're also very popular tourism destinations in their own right. So it's not a coincidence that they have strong passports, and also the rest of the world wants to visit their countries. Citizens of these nations can access 192 out of 199 countries on the Henley Index. France climbed up 4 spots from 6th place in 2024, and Germany and Spain are both up from 3rd place last year. Italy is also moving up, but Japan lost its number 1 spot last year. There are a few places where Japanese passport holders need to get a visa or can't stay as long as the citizens of these other places. One of those countries is Gambia in Africa, where Japanese tourists need a visa, but Italian tourists do not. When it comes to visiting Europe, that is another difference here, where Japanese tourists can stay for up to 90 days, whereas citizens of these other countries can actually live and work there as fellow Schengen area members. And passport holders from all these countries can enjoy up to 90 days visiting places in Eastern Europe, such as Montenegro and Serbia. The strongest passport in the world this year is Singapore, with visa-free access to 195 countries. Singapore is up from 2nd place last year and has been consistently in the top 2 since 2018. With its strong passport and economy, it's no wonder that people from this small but mighty country spent over $25 billion on travel in 2023. Home to nearly 6 million people, Singapore has historically had positive diplomatic relations with many other countries. Located between Malaysia and Indonesia, it's a business-friendly melting pot of cultures. If you've heard me talk about Singapore before, it's because it's such a welcoming international destination. It's also very safe with low crime rates, good healthcare, and the citizens and residents there enjoy a very high quality of life. There are some territories Singaporeans can't access without a visa, however, countries including Afghanistan, Algeria, Mali, Nauru, Ukraine, Yemen, and Venezuela. Singaporeans can, however, visit a few places that citizens of the rest of the world can't go without a visa. Those places include up to 90 days in the Ivory Coast, Eswatini, Ghana, and Lesotho. Singaporean citizens can also spend up to 3 months in New Zealand, 90 days in Europe's Schengen zone, 90 days in the United States, and 6 months in Canada and the UK. Plus, they can visit China for up to 30 days, Japan for up to 90 days, and stay in Thailand for up to 60 days. Where does your passport rank on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more travel and living abroad videos, and make sure to watch this video next to know the top most beautiful places to visit in the world this year.